I hope they don't catch me when I'm still talking to you. When we return from the break, when I open up the debate, I'll ask you to use as much as at most a minute. Try and be as precise as possible. You do not have to put a question to any of the gentlemen up there. You may want to make your own observation. You may want to put a point that you feel very pertinent about. If a point you feel has been made, please pass on the baton to the next person. I'll ask the gentleman or lady that has the microphone to be in the corridors so that we are able to pass it very quickly. I'll caution, I know that for the earlier speakers I didn't, I'll caution as much as possible for information that you think you're not sure about. Please qualify it with allegations that it is alleged, for it may not be a fact. And the gentleman up there, if you feel there are particular issues that they've raised that you'd like to respond to, after I've taken about 6 of them, I'll come back to you just in case you have a particular issue that you'd like to address. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back on air. Once again, watching us from wherever you're watching us from, this is WBS Television. We are hosting the first ever inter-university debate. Several of these will go on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first of 8. This is the first of 8 in a period of up to 2 years. We will continue with this. Several of these debates will not happen here at the WBS TV auditorium. They will happen in the resident university. We will visit you in Gulu University. And ladies and gentlemen, watch out for us there. Our announcements will run, and when we visit the universities, resident wherever they are, we are sure they will have a space larger than this, and therefore will definitely have an audience larger than we have. We will visit you in Gulu, we will be in Barara, we may be in Kabale, we'll definitely go possibly to Mbale. We'll go to as many parts of this country as will be representative. And certainly our next debate, we will name the place at which we will go. If we come to Gulu, please welcome us. The debate will be there, and it will be running live on WBS television. Wherever we will be, the debates will be live on WBS television. Ladies and gentlemen, definitely, yes, of course, in conjunction with Center for Constitutional Governance. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, we go into that leg of the debate where we interact with the audience. The microphone is moving. I'll take Kabale University. From Kabale University, I'll go to Busitema University. From Busitema University, I'll go to Cavendish. That's 4. From Cavendish, I'll go to Mutesa One Royal University. No, Mutesa One has a representative up there. Therefore, I'll go to Uganda Matters University. So, we'll take the first. Your name? The university. I'll have one of my technicians touch the microphone. Yes, go right ahead. Okay, can I have one of the technicians attend to the microphone, please? Thank you. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen viewing us. Sabiti, if you could come just and use this as they sort out that microphone. Thank you. You can enjoy your moment in the sun.
Moderator, ladies and gentlemen, I'm called Sabit Africano Kavala University. I want to give a reference of Article 2 of the Constitution of Uganda, which talks about the supremacy of the Constitution and it is binding to all persons and authorities. Nobody is above that Constitution. And Article 98 of the Constitution, it gives the president the authority to be above the law. The Constitution is challenged, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. I said we shall be very precise. What was the second university? Yes, please come up. Please name your university.
Thank you very much. Samuel from Civic University. My question goes to the members who are on the podium. What makes courts of law superior to politicians, bureaucrats, academicians as custodians of individual freedom? Secondly, this is to Mr. Odongoto Mejali.
Thank
He
you.
has said.
Thank you. We'll take, what was the next university? Makerere University. Oh, was it? I don't remember mentioning Makerere University. Cavendish, please, you'll use this one. I'll send the microphone to you. Please send the microphone over to Cavendish. Just pass the microphone, they'll pass it on. Right, thank you very much, Cavendish. A brief question. Stand up. Sorry.
Thank you. I wanted to put some people the honorable in there. First of all, I would like to inform Mr. Honorable for International Health Sciences that today to give us some citations on the areas where we thought the separation of powers has been misused. Okay, so if you give us any, we didn't know anything. If you need references, I will give you. And we also talked about the ruling party. Have been very many people in the parliament and the legislature and the cabinet and the executive. One thing I want to inform you that the executive, if you look at the constitution, in where they illustrate about the executive article 98, they give the president as is the sole member in the executive. And the ruling party in any area or atmosphere is supposed to have the most number of participants in the work in the legislature.
Thank you. Thank you. Please come and use my microphone. Thank you. Come and use this one. Thank you. Come and use this one. Right.
Thank you very much. My point of information goes to the Honorable from MOOBS first. You talked about the tenure of office of judicial officers being not less than 72, but according to Article 144, it's a judicial officer may retire at any age after attaining the age of 60. And then to Mutesa 1. Mutesa 1, the Honorable talked about the Constitution is not okay. My friend, as Honorable Otto talked about, the constitutional crisis, it's not the constitutional crisis, but it's the leadership crisis. So if you recite very well, according to the case of Lieutenant Ahimsiwe Benjamin versus Attorney General in 2004, it was said that the Constitution is the supreme law of the country, and that is Uganda. So you have to respect our Constitution. It's not a constitutional crisis, but it's a what? A leadership crisis. You are all trying to avoid that question. And then, finally, they were not, okay, the honorables, you all avoided number 4. And that is our parliament still on track when it comes to the legislations that is beneficial to the people? The types of legislations like, they're talking about mini-stats, yet people are dying of poverty. You really didn't talk about that. None of you talked about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll take the question at the podium.
Good evening. Dorothy Christine Nachaj is my name, from Uganda Matters University. I have 2 quick questions. One, thank you, honorables, by the way. One, is Constitution an independent system in addressing human rights and freedoms? Then the second one is, where is the law of man applicable vis-a-vis the law of nature in the Constitution? Thank you very much, Uganda Matters University.
Munanura Emmanuel, Cavendish University. For me, I had one specific question going to the honorable member from Ndeje University. He talked about freedoms of expression and movement, and then he said that Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye, he specifically targets areas where there are so many people so that he can cause chaos, where he gave an example of Kiseka Market. To me, since the Constitution does not specifically specify the areas to which a person should go when he wants to exercise his freedom of movement, it's a clear guarantee that Colonel Kiza, Dr. Kiza Besigye can go to every place he feels like he wants to go to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Tumkunde Tony. A frugal and prudent submission has been made by all.
Tony from
UCU. A frugal and prudent submission has been made by the right here honorable speakers. What I want to make for clarity here is the Onapito, Okolomot, and Mugisha Muntu bill that stated, or where the legislature and the courts of law pronounced themselves that really separation of power would be expensive. Secondly, is supremacy of the law still existing in Uganda? Let us look at the Mwanga Chivumbi case, where the courts come and pronounce itself, or rather themselves, upon the freedom of expression, and then the executive goes against Article 92 of the Constitution, which states that then the legislature shall not go contrary to the decisions of the court. Lastly, what I want to state is an assertion by Professor Juko, Professor Kanyehamba, that was an import from Benjamin Odoch, that 3 stones are holding 1 pot. Really, the supremacy of or the rule of law and then the supremacy of the Constitution, I think, considering. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll have the last submission for now from the gentleman, which university?
Mountains of the Moon.
Mountains of the Moon. And then I will have the gentleman at the front, one at a time, to take up issue number 4 that asked about Parliament. Just a very brief response to that, and any other issue that you may feel the audience has raised that you would like to respond to in a minute each, and then I'll come back to the audience.
Thank you very much, the moderator. My name is Yaranga Francis from Mountains of the Moon University. I strongly believe and support Article 4 of our Constitution that talks about people being aware, publicly aware and sensitized about our Constitution. And this same article saying that people are supposed, the Constitution should be sensitized through different languages. Believe me or not, if you're a Mutoro, if you are a Munyankole, if you're a Muganda, and you understand the Constitution in your local language, some of these issues where we see people going to demonstrations, the Kiseka stuff and the what would be not happening because they can interpret the Constitution in their local languages.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take to the podium. Several issues have been asked, and I must observe for you viewers watching us from wherever you're watching us, that for one of those very few times, I see very many copies of the Ugandan Constitution being held by people at the same moment. And a number of them are very new, possibly speaking of want of use. Quite some of them have a rugged cover that says they've been either held for quite a while or used. Gentlemen, I'll start with Andrew.
First of all, with great notice, I admire the level in which the spirit of constitutionalism is growing by the questions you've answered and asked in your various submissions from the audience. I will begin with question number 4. Parliament in the lawmaking process, to what extent has it achieved in creating beneficial legislation to the people? We all know the fact that Parliament is a lawmaking institution. It derives its powers from Article 79 of the Constitution, which gives it its solid mandate to practice its functions. Now, there are a number of bills in the offing in Parliament, among others, the Public Order Management Bill, the Marriage and Divorce Bill. Now, what beats the understanding on Parliament is, to what extent do they prioritize legislation? Which bill do they take as important than the other? First of all, I recognize with great notice that there was a misplacement of 5 million shillings. That money was better for the Public Order Management Bill for consultation. Secondly, what causes Parliament now not to do all this? Number one, they lack independence. The incapacity of members of Parliament. 20 years into our Constitution, we still need senior 6 vacancies in Parliament.
Andrew.
How do they understand all this?
Andrew,
Yes.
do you think, therefore, that they are taking their priorities right?
It is a failure for them to assume to work on those priorities, which
Thank you.
they should have done.
Thank you.
Yes. So, when I look now to this,
Dominic.
what do we need?
We'll take Dominic.
Okay. Thank you.
I congratulate all the listeners and the gentleman who asked about I referring to the executive as very many people. It's only the president. That's very wrong. Because we are lacking time, but I was quoting Article 111 of the Constitution clearly states the composition of a cabinet that forms the executive. There is president, vice president, prime minister, and a number of ministers. Brother, you can read up that and polish up that mind. On the issue of the legislature, whether the legislation right course, I tried to summarize it in my presentation, and I say that we have a problem. The legislature is inclined on one way. We have a parliament that is bloated by one political organization. We have just a meager opposition members within the parliament. Therefore, whenever there are important issues that benefit the population, and there are also issues from the executive, it is very likely that the ruling party, which dominates most of its members of parliament, side and they pass such bills that don't favor the population. So that was your question. Is parliament on the course? Therefore, there is a challenge that parliament...
Dominic, is the problem the numbers in parliament, or is it the conscience of the people with the numbers?
To the question that I was trying to answer, that when these members are elected in the parliament, they try to play the tune of the executive. Therefore, the population should be emancipated. We create a critical mass. We create an asking population that will make these members of parliament accountable than members of parliament that go to parliament to sing the song of the executive.
Thank you.
That's my submission.
Thank you, Dominic. Wasaja.
Thank you very much. The lady questioned me about whether the Constitution is okay or not, citing that the Constitution is supreme. It is the supreme law in the land. The Constitution being called the supreme law in the land doesn't justify the fact that it is okay. We know for the fact that good laws or quality laws must not target individuals. But we know it very well that there are bills that have been passed that are targeting individuals. We are all complaining about the Public Order Management Bill that is specifically brought out to target the opposition. Now, if an amendment is made and it is a law in our constitution, does it make it okay? In 2011, when most of the people in the Central Region felt that the cultural leaders bill that was passed at that time was targeting the cultural leader in the Central Region. Now, does that make the law, that's what you call the supreme law in Uganda, okay? Now, going to whether the parliament is still on track or not, if at all we have members of parliament.
Wasaja, if I may ask, are those amendments of the constitution or are they amendments of operational laws?
The amendments of the constitution. Operational laws, that is what you said.
Carry on.
Okay. Going to whether the parliament is still on track. Now, if we have members of parliament who cannot recognize their signatures, who today sign on a paper and tomorrow they come out to tell us that they're not the ones and they deny their signatures, I don't think they have the moral authority to tell us that they are still on track. If at all they can deny what they did yesterday in the dark.
Thank you. You don't need to labor that. Yes. I go to Clever. Sorry, Kalunji. Jeliva. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I had a question from our comrade coming from Cavendish. The question was about Article 144, which talks about the tenure of the judicial officials. I don't want us to begin piercing our own feet. Our comrade from Cavendish, you must have pierced your own foot. You read it clearly and you said a judicial officer may retire at any time after attaining the age of 60 years and shall vacate his or her office. Then we go down to subsection A of clause 1. What does it say? In the case of the Chief Justice, the Deputy Chief Justice, a Justice of the Supreme Court, and a Justice of Appeal, on attaining the age of 70 years, they shall retire. So in this case, was it right to reappoint the would-be retired Chief Justice or the Chief? Two, Honorable Kabare, you came and you talked about the President being above the law. Please, do not tell us to see sense where there's no sense. The President is never above the law. Let's go to Article 2 of the Constitution. What does it say? Article 2 of the Constitution tells you, this Constitution is the supreme law of Uganda and shall have binding force on all authorities and persons throughout Uganda. So I think President Museveni is a person in Uganda, and therefore the Constitution has binding laws upon him. Thank you very much, fellow Africans.
Thank you very much. If you are a professor of constitutionalism or constitutional law, this is an opportunity for you to measure your own job. Right, James.
Once again, thank you very much. I appreciate the submissions by everybody. Let me begin by saying, I was asked about the Constitution not stipulating where Besigye should demonstrate. In truth, people, I'm not going to go deep into trying to explain because I don't believe that's my role, but my idea is this. Why should you cause ruckus in a marketplace? You're prejudicing my right as a person. I'm not disputing the fact that Besigye is all right. He's my former party president, but the thing is, I don't believe in that. Secondly, about the parliament and being on track, I believe in this.